we have the three panelists still connected. So Ben, Ricardo, and Addison are still here with us. If you still have any questions, let's have a Q&A session. You've seen the three presentations, and maybe you want to share any ideas or ask any questions once you have received the whole information.
Yes, Ricardo, this is a question for Ricardo. With regards to mycotoxins, again, mycotoxins, did you see any differences between conventional DDGs and this concentrate? Or mycotoxins concentrate as well, or the fiber portion removes, say, a part of those anti-nutritional factors? Um, Thank you very much for the question. We did not analyze for mycotoxins, but I do believe that the process to eliminate other components in DDGS, corn DDGS, again, I do believe that that might indeed reduce mycotoxins by different percentages. That was a great question. Do we have any other questions for Addison, Ben, or for the whole group? Any other questions in the auditorium? Yes, the question is the fact of being able to increase proteins through DDGs. Does that affect the energetic value? I guess that's what I suppose because there's a higher concentration of fat, right? Can you speak about that, please? Again, if you want to bend, you can go ahead and begin, then Ricardo, and then Addison. What is your take based on, again, energy and fat concentration?
So the energy content, we've looked at a high protein DDGS produced from a variety of different systems, and we consistently see an improvement in the energy content, which is primarily being driven by the crude protein concentration increasing. The crude fat content, whether or not it goes up and down, is going to depend on the fractionation system. So like with the CFP product, which is actually being produced at levels which are used in commercial poultry diets in the US, we see a substantial, or not a substantial reduction, but we do see a lower crude fat content. So the higher energy value is definitely being driven by the higher protein content for that particular ingredient.
Yeah, piggybacking off that, I completely agree with that statement that it's being predominantly driven by that protein. However, fatty acids have, 9 meg calories compared to 4 or 5 compared to protein. So you can't really discount the fact that the fat is there, but once again, it's predominantly be driven by that protein content.
Ricardo, ¿algo que mencionar?
Anything from you, Ricardo? Yes, in my opinion, although we have been able to improve the characteristics of DDGS, and yes, fat has been reduced, however, in the process to obtain HPDDGS, we have eliminated fermentable materials, which has reduced fiber as well and affects protein. That affects the protein as well as energy. So yes, the process definitely improves the energy contained in the ingredient. It even makes it more available. So yes, although it increases digestibility and makes this energy more accessible, is what Ricardo just replied. Thank you for your answer, Ricardo. We do have another question in the room. The question is there are there NIRS systems? Because many people in Latin America and in Europe use these NIR systems with prediction systems for high protein DDGS, such as Addicio and Ebony. And I'm not promoting, not publicizing either one of those two systems, but my question is if you know the NIR systems that have been used, again, if you guys are aware of that.
Bueno, para cualquiera de los tres panelistas.
And any of you can answer that against. What do you know about SNEER's systems for these high protein DDGs?
IR technology.
Yes, whether there are.
Yes, indeed. NIR technologies, if there are any NIR's technologies available for this.
There is not a lot of data on a lot of co-products. I've noticed from some of my own work, we can get some pretty reasonable predictions for nutrient composition of products like soybean meal, which are typically very consistent, but products like DDGS, which are more historically variable, that can reduce the accuracy of those prediction equations by NIR. And given the fact that a lot of these systems are rather new, I don't want to say I wouldn't necessarily trust the values from NIR, but I would definitely want wet chemistry values to back that up due to the lack of samples they would have in the database likely for those samples.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that because the only way we're able to effectively improve those NIR calibrations is, running the sample and then subsequently doing wet chem to improve it. So, I mean, these new high protein co-products are, newer compared to older, more historical ones. And so the more we can kind of bolster these different calibration equations, the better they will become over time and the more accurate they will become over time.
¿Una pregunta más?
Do we have any other questions? So, if there are no more questions, thank you very much and congratulations to the four of you, although the four presenter is not with us. The question is with regards to net energy for swine, gross energy for swine. Is this being analyzed for swine? Are these products being analyzed for swine? That's the question. Right. Currently, Ricardo replies, although this is the product that I experimented with was a product that was being evaluated, so we haven't done any gross energy analysis in my specific case. First, we were trying to determine the viability of the product, but I do believe that in the near future, yes, definitely, companies are going to analyze and evaluate again that gross energy, but so far we haven't done it, is what Ricardo just replied. Well, thank you very much, Ricardo. With this, please let's give a round of applause to the panelists. And with this, we're going to conclude this section of our agenda. Right now, we're going to break for a snack. And our timer, our agenda indicates that we shall meet again at 15:45 or 3:45 p.m. And we would also like to thank Dr. Pedro Urriola for acting as the panel moderator. So, again, right now we're going to take a brief break. You can go out and get a snack, and please come back at 3:45 so we can continue with the final panel regarding additives to extract more nutritional value. And this is going to be moderated by my colleague Alejandro Gonzalez. Again, thank you very much, and we're going to